Going through a divorce is emotionally taxing, and navigating the financial aspects of the situation can be even more daunting. It's easy to make mistakes when you're overwhelmed by the stress and emotions that come with dissolving a marriage. To help, here are some common money mistakes you want to make sure to avoid during this difficult time. Number 1. Settling for less than you are entitled to in the division of assets. Before you start any proceedings, it's important to know your rights. This includes understanding what assets are yours and whether or not you are entitled to spousal support or alimony payments. Make sure you do your research and consult with an attorney if necessary. Ignoring your rights could cost you in the long run. Number 2. Not fully understanding the tax implications of the divorce settlement. Taxes can be confusing enough as it is, but when dealing with divorce, they become even more complicated. In order for you and your former spouse to correctly file taxes after a divorce, you must understand how your marital status affects filing obligations, particularly if there were assets exchanged between both parties during the process. Make sure to consult a tax professional when filing post-divorce taxes so that nothing gets overlooked or misreported. Number 3. Agreeing to pay more than your fair share of the marital debts. It's essential to consider all aspects of your financial situation before making any decisions, and things like debt should be taken into account as well as income from either party. People often overlook their debts when going through a divorce. It's important for both spouses to understand the full scope of their joint financial situation prior to filing for divorce in order to avoid surprises down the line. Number 4. Failing to properly value all of the assets in the divorce. Asset valuation matters because it helps ensure that each spouse gets their fair share in the divorce agreement. It is not uncommon for one spouse to overestimate or underestimate the value of certain assets, which could lead one party or the other to receive less than they are entitled to. Number 5. Not getting a qualified appraiser to value the family home. Hiring a third-party appraiser can provide an unbiased assessment that both sides can accept without having any disputes over who owns what, or how much something is worth. Additionally, some divorcing couples opt to use online tools like Zillow or Redfin for estimating home values instead of hiring an appraiser or realtor if they already have a good understanding of what their home is worth. Number 6. Not considering the long-term financial implications of the divorce settlement. The first mistake many people make when going through a divorce is not understanding their assets and debts. During the stress of a breakup, it can be hard to take an honest look at your finances, but this will help you make the most informed decision possible. Make sure you understand what assets you have, including retirement accounts, what debts you owe, including loans, and how they are divided between both parties. Number 7. Not getting a copy of your credit report to check for accuracy. It's important to check it regularly to make sure that the information is accurate and up to date, especially during or after a divorce when there may be multiple accounts held in both spouses' names. If one spouse does not properly close joint accounts or transfer them into his or her name, the other spouse can still be held accountable for any debts associated with those accounts. Number 8. Not protecting your rights to retirement benefits in the divorce. As much as possible, try not to get caught up in temporary solutions while going through a divorce. Instead, focus on long-term plans and goals once everything has been finalized. This includes considering new housing options and budgeting for living expenses such as food, utilities, transportation costs, etc., especially if one partner has given up employment due to family obligations, example, raising children. Number 9. Not updating your beneficiaries. Many people forget to update their beneficiaries after divorce. This is a crucial step that should not be overlooked. If you do not take the time to make sure the right person is listed as your beneficiary, there could be serious financial implications down the road. Number 10. Failing to close joint accounts. Be sure to close any joint bank accounts and credit cards that you have with your former spouse. It is important to do this quickly so that no additional debt can be accumulated in the account, as both parties are still liable for any new charges put on the card or withdrawals from the account. Having open joint accounts after a divorce can cause confusion and financial turmoil for both parties, so it's important to close them as soon as possible. Going through a divorce can be an emotional roller coaster ride filled with stress and uncertainty about finances, but it doesn't have to be. Avoid making costly mistakes by doing your homework ahead of time, seeking professional advice from attorneys or financial advisors if necessary, assessing all debts jointly held prior to filing paperwork or attending hearings, etc. Plan ahead for life post-divorce so that everyone involved can make informed decisions about how to best handle their individual finances.